For my future classroom, I chose to do 4th grade. So here we go. It's time to dive into 4th grade with Miss Valdez. I believe that teachers should be a facilitator of learning. By being a facilitator, you are accompanying and shaping a learning process together as a class. It steps away from the traditional role of a teacher who is standing in front of a classroom lecturing all day. I believe it is also the teacher's job to create a safe and open environment. I think it is very important that the classroom is a place where students can call their own and the students share the responsibility of making the classroom the best that it can be. Like Rudolph Dreikurs, I believe in a democratic classroom where students are regularly involved in the decision-making process. I want my classroom to be a more discussion-based classroom where the students feel free to share their ideas. The classroom should be a stimulating and creating environment where students feel comfortable taking risks and trying new things. I believe the classroom is not only a place for the students, but for the parents as well. I want my parents to be as comfortable as my students are when they're walking into the room. I want them to be involved as much as possible in the classroom through daily activities and volunteering. The students' role is to make sure they are following both school and classroom expectations. They are also to take the responsibility of their own learning. They should come to class motivated and ready to learn. My desks will be arranged in a double horseshoe pattern. This allows the students to work both individually and with the people around them depending on what we are doing at that time. Throughout the class, I will also have different forms of seating, including beanbag chairs and other work tables that they are allowed to work at depending on what we are doing at that time. Now that you saw a little bit about my beliefs as a teacher, we're going to move on to my literacy approach. As part of my literacy approach, I will be incorporating the Daily 5 and Cafe in my classroom. The Daily 5 includes 5 stations: read to self, read to someone, word work, listen to reading, and writing. And while students are working either individually or with a partner, it allows me to work with students either one-on-one or in small groups depending on their needs. Daily 5 allows for differentiation because students get to work on individual goals from the cafe menu, either falling under comprehension, accuracy, fluency, or expand vocabulary. They get to look and see what their strengths and weaknesses are and pick their own goal that they get to work. When looking at students' individual goals, if I see a lot of students working towards the same goal, this is a time when I can pull strategy groups. So all the students working towards that goal and I can work at this strategy together. As far as assessments go within Daily 5, there will be daily assessments that include anecdotal notes, observations, and conferences with either small groups or an individual student, depending what they are working on and what is needed at that time. For a more formal assessment, I'll be doing unit assessments that will be given to the whole class at the I will also be incorporating literature circles in my class. Together, the class reads a book at the same time, but the class is split into groups, and each group member is assigned an individual role that they will be working on throughout the book. While students are reading and working, I can pull everybody that has the same role to help model what they're doing and what needs to be completed within the role. I like literature circles because it allows for students to grow within the individual roles, and it works on collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and creativity. For assessments, I will be monitoring the students' work throughout the literature circle. I will be walking around listening to groups and checking in on their progress. I will also be using their individual role sheets to assess what they've done. And then at the end of the chapters or at the end of the book, I will have a test for the students to complete individually.